Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Bryan with not exactly a knife review for you. This is a tribute, an ode to the Benchmade 940. I've done a couple of these videos before. I did it with the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and the Spyderco Mannix 2, also both iconic EDC designs. But this definitely qualifies as a true folding knife icon in our little world. Originally came out in 2001. I was kind of surprised by that. I did some research before I did this video. I had not realized that it had been out that long. I didn't get into the hobby very much till a couple years ago, so it was well before my time. I knew that, but been out for a very long time. They come in a million different configurations, as you'd expect over that time. There have been special editions. There have been several production versions. Currently, they produce this, I would call their standard version. About $182 for one of these. This is the aluminum handle S30V steel with the backspacer design. This is kind of what I would call the standard one. And then for a little bit less than that, though, you can get the 940-2, which doesn't seem quite as popular, with the G10 handles and S30V and the backspacer design. This particular one is a special edition. This is KnifeWorks exclusive. The standard one is going to be pure black and S30V, where this is 20CV. And then the top dog of the production version currently is the 940-1 carbon fiber handle standoffs S90V steel. But there's a lot of special editions out, as I said. You can also get them in black blades. You can get them, and I've seen partially serrated versions. Originally came out in 154 cm steel. The older ones you'll find are in that steel. Now the standard base steel is S30V, and once you get into the special editions, it's whatever you want. They make them in a whole bunch of different steels. I'm not even going to try to get into all of them because I will forget some. But there are some great ones out there, including this one that's here on the table. We'll talk about that a little bit. But this is, as I said, not really a review of these three individual knives. It's just talking about how great the 940 is, but we will point out a few things that are flaws with it people have had over the years. So what makes this knife so great? It was designed to be a slim, lightweight, but yet full-size EDC knife, and it nailed that. Osborne design, he did a great job. It's exactly what you would expect it to be, especially like look at how when you have one of these folded, it is just so slim in the pocket. These all have deep carry pocket clips on them. This is not standard clips on any three of these. They come with clips that look kind of like this, or maybe you get the split arrow one. But even with the standard clip, it doesn't carry particularly high. Carries fairly well. Good strong pocket clips. But yeah, this is the split arrow clip, as they call it. It's such a slim, lightweight EDC knife. You were looking at in the range of these ranges between 2.4 and like 2.75 ounces for the three you see here. For all of them, they're all going to be under 3 ounces, which is an amazing weight for a knife this size. Very, very light, and you can kind of see why, because they are so slim. Put in your pocket, get one of the free Benchmade deep carry clips. All you got to do is ask nicely if your particular version didn't come with one, and they'll ship one right off to you. And especially with this deep carry clip, they disappear in your pocket. They completely do. But when you pull them out, you have a full-size EDC knife, and it's fantastic. What else is great about them? The axis lock. The axis lock is Benchmade's kind of signature, and the 940 is where it works the best. And it was one of the first knives that had it, so you kind of understand why. They're just so much fun to flip around and play with. They're just great. I love the axis lock. It is so much fun. Now we will get into, there was one little flaw with the axis lock we'll get into later, but as far as your usual use, this is the most broken one I have. And yeah, one finger, just flick it closed. They're so nice. I really love the axis lock. It's so much fun. And they're just kind of free droppy. The axis lock is so much fun. Another thing that's great about them, as I said, the size, the amount of blade you're getting for the weight. It's just great. Tip is pretty robust on these. They can do a lot of piercing and stuff. Is this blade the sliciest thing I've ever seen in my life? No, but it's not bad. You're looking at about 26, 28 thousandths. I measured all three of these. All three range somewhere around there. 0.12 inch blade thickness, so not very thick blade thickness, but yeah, no, they're not like a high, they are a flat grind, but they're not like a really high flat grind. So no, they're not the sliciest things in the world, but they're pretty darn good. They really are. And I like the ergonomics on it. It depends on your hands. It is a thin handle, but it fits my hands just fine. I've never had a problem with the ergonomics on these. The jimping is always just about right. You just got the two little bits right up there, and it works great. It's I think that's the things everybody loves about them. Is just they're so much fun to play with, and they're so light and so easy to carry. For the last since I came up with the idea to do this video, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I've been carrying a 940 a whole lot just to reacquaint myself with it. I've been carrying these two a whole lot, and man, I love having a 940 back in my pocket. They are just great, awesome EDC knives. And as I said, they come in a million different versions. I'm not even going to try to name all of the dealer exclusives, limited editions that they've had over the years. I will say that I do agree with people who told me to buy one of these, and they are probably right. This is the 940-1501. It is a KnifeWorks exclusive. It has the G10 handles like the 940-2, but they are multi-layer, as you can see. So when they milled them, you get all this blue coming out, which looks pretty cool. And then you also get S20V steel, which is kind of the mother of all steels. And these are about $200, $199 something. And as 940s go, not a bad price. Which is going to lead us into what is wrong with the 940. Why would you not want a 940? I'm going to say, first of all, that price. You're looking at $182 for the kind of standard version. The 940-2 with the G10 handles and the S30V is a little bit cheaper at $170, but this is kind of the number one selling one. $182 starting out at. $199 for this, which is a great value. For this carbon fiber S90V, let me make sure I have it right because it changed recently. I don't want to tell you a wrong thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. $267. So it's pretty pricey. Not gonna lie to you. These are not cheap. That would be the first reason why you wouldn't want to buy a 940. If you're looking at another iconic kind of EDC knife, this is not a standard version either, but a Spyderco PM2 is like, what, $130? Lot cheaper than $170, $182. But just, they're really, really good knives, but yeah, the price is getting up there. Also, another reason why, Benchmade, not the best reputation for quality. I will say, I will caveat this with, I've owned 10 Benchmades now. I've only had one that had an issue, and it's one that's sitting here, and it's not even bad enough that I've ever had it fixed, and I don't know if it's even enough to show up on camera, but the grind right up the tip is a little bit off. That's about all I've had. But you have problems with blade centering. I will say this is a loaner from a good friend, Ryan Ryder. Thank you very much for loaning it to me. And yeah, his centering's off quite a fair bit. And so far, I haven't completely torn it down. I will before I send it back to him because he asked me to. But as far from just adjusting the pivot, I can't get rid of it. So it's never been an issue for me. I do think the issue is overblown, but enough people have complained that I'm going to admit that, yeah, it probably does exist. Probably Benchmade does have a few quality control issues. As I said before, their warranty, that was awesome. Anything's wrong, send it off to them. They'll fix it. But some do come out of the factory with some issues. What's the other issue? Maybe it's a bit too slim. Some people don't like the handle. Some people really complain about the ergonomics, that it's just too slim for their hands. I have really long fingers, and they fit me fine. But some people do complain that the handle's just too slim, and they don't feel like they have a secure grip. I think a lot of that is kind of in your mind. I don't think it would come out of your hand or anything like that. But some people do say it's just a bit too slim. And as I said above, the blade is not the sliciest thing in the world. But I think it's pretty great. It's perfectly fine for anyone's EDC task. But if I'm going to go hack through 7 acres of cardboard, I'd rather have a Spyderco Manix 2 or a Civivi Praxis or something that's got a very tall, flat ground blade. But that's just me. But, so what in conclusion do I have to say about the 940? It is fantastic. If there is a EDC Knife Hall of Fame. It should definitely be in the first class inducted. It's a fantastic knife. A knife design doesn't stick around for basically 18 years and not have something going for it. It's from what I can tell and from my experience, it is the Benchmade. I will say that if you're going to buy one Benchmade and just experience one Benchmade, the 940 is the first one to go with. In my review of the old REI Special Edition 940, which you can still buy, by the way, I said I was looking for benchmark knives when I started this channel. Everyone recommended a 940, and they were right. And I bought that Benchmade 940, or that REI Special Edition Benchmade 940, and I loved it. But then I got this one, and I decided not to keep both, and I got rid of it, and now I have this one, and I think I'm going to keep both. And it's very rare that I own two of one knife. Actually, currently, the only other knife I own two versions of the same thing is the Paramilitary 2. I've got a crew wear and a 20 CV, so it's very rare that I keep around two versions of the same knife, and I'm doing it with the 940 because it's just a fantastic knife. It's one of those knives that sometimes winds up in my pocket without me thinking about it. It's just I open up a case to leave the house in a hurry and then grab a 940 because I know I'm going to be happy with it. I know there's nothing that's going to happen that day that I'm going to be upset that I brought the 940. Are there going to be other knives that I think could do a particular task better? Yeah, but there are almost no tasks that this can't do. And it's lightweight, it's slim. I forget that it's even in my pocket, which is saying a whole lot for a knife this long. Fantastic design. If you never tried a 940, do it. Just do it. They are great. Even if you don't like Benchmade, they're great. If you're worried about the quality control issues, they sell Benchmades everywhere. Go to a store and try one out. Make sure that it's all right before you get it. They're awesome. I love the 940. I know you guys do too, but I just wanted to give this little ode tribute to the 940. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Brian. Have a good one.